Hi everyone, it's a Tides Changing here, and welcome to part 13 of Let's Build a Rustic Inn. Getting right into things, Lauren and Mad Max wanted to see floor lamps right next to the couches, so I of course gave that a try. I put in floor lamps on either side and got rid of the plants, but I feel like it was a little much to have the floor lamps there, so I ended up getting rid of them and then also getting rid of the plant just to keep it simple in that area. And then moving into the bedroom, Kyle and Iana said that they felt like the original type of plaster I had there was a little better. This one here with mostly plaster and then a little bit of paneling at the bottom. So I just sort of went through all the colors once again and then settled on the green one here. I felt like the green really went well with the yellows. I also added in some tissues there, which was suggested by Poppy, and I actually used the white paneling on that wall because I felt like it really went with the whole bright theme. Bob also said they didn't like the yellow on that chair, so I went ahead and changed it to a bright green. I was thinking about doing purple, but I felt like the bright green was a better choice to tie in with the walls, and also was kind of like the safer choice because I felt like the purple might have been a little too much. And then Grace suggested changing the flooring to carpet because they said they felt like the wood was a little bit too boring since it was used throughout the rest of the place. So I gave that yellowish carpet there a try. Since it was nice and bright, I feel like the white carpet was a little bit too cold and a little bit too bright. I also tried putting the stone accent wall back in, which was suggested by Sharkasm23, but in the end I felt like it was just best to have the same wall throughout just to keep it simple. I actually spent a lot of time on changing things in this bedroom because when I did it I thought it actually looked pretty good, and then when I looked at the bedroom later I realized that I sort of missed the mark with it, so I just went through and changed a whole bunch of things in it to make it look much better. And what I'm doing here is replacing that fancier bed with more of an air mattress because a few of you pointed out that it was a little bit too fancy for this room and that most hotels, well, like a lot of hotels do not have just single beds in a room. So I felt like changing it to an air mattress would be a little bit more realistic, and some of you pointed out that as well, because you can bring air mattresses into hotel rooms. My family's done it before. It's probably frowned upon, but you can easily just pack one and bring it if you want to save money and get a smaller room than what you actually need. But moving back over here, I'm just trying to figure out a different rug because I really didn't like the rug that was there, and a lot of you didn't as well. So I'm using this more plain rug here, and I also did switch back the floors to wood for a brief bit because I was having second thoughts about the carpet, and then now I'm back to the rug once again trying to figure out the right color for it. So I believe in the end I chose more of this greenish kind of wallpaper just to tie in with the greens on the wall and also in the chair. And then I did just go ahead and switch it back to the wood because while the carpet is nice and bright, I felt like the wood just tied in with a rustic theme a little bit better. I do change it back to the wood in the end, like I change it back a little later on. And what's going on here is that Shy said they felt like there should be some kind of separation between the parent sleeping area and the kid sleeping area. And also Susan suggested adding in the divider here, so I thought that was a neat idea, so I was just going through a few different ones here trying to see which one really fit in with the style of this room. But I actually decided to just not have a divider because I noticed that it cut off a lot of light to that side of the room and just really closed it off. And I don't think it would be a huge issue to not have separation between the parent sleeping area and the kid sleeping area. You know, so I figured it was fine just to leave it like this. A few of you also suggested putting the bed in the middle of the room, like in front of the window, and then also on the other side of the room, but I ended up just going back to the previous arrangement I had because for some reason, like, to me, my gut instinct told me that that was just what looked better. And also Sharkasm23 suggested moving the flower painting that was on this wall over above the gramophone. I believe that's what that was called, and then putting a mirror on that wall there. So I did try that out, but I didn't really like how having a mirror over there looked. I feel like if there was a mirror that it would probably be better over near the dresser. So I was just messing around taking out that mirror there and then putting a painting there instead because some of you pointed out that it was realistically a little bit too high up. So I was just trying a few alternatives to that, and then I figured maybe best not to have a painting above it and just put more decorations on instead because there already was enough paintings in this room. I did try a lot of different suggestions with this room, and in some cases I ended up kind of going back to what I had originally because you don't really know how something's going to look until you actually try it. So in some cases I just felt like what I had originally worked a little bit better. Like, that's kind of what my gut instinct told me. Right now I'm adding in a floor mirror over here, which was suggested by Millie, so I was just trying to see how it would look there, and then I did try putting floor mirrors in front of the windows. or the window, but I feel like it kind of blocked off the light from it. So in the end, I just went back to the mirror setup I already had. I know it's a little bit unrealistic with how high up the mirror is, but to me, I felt like that looked best. And a few of you also suggested moving the door over one, the door to the bathroom over one, and then having an end table next to the bed. But I like having the door center on that wall, and also that's more of a temporary bed kind of situation. So I felt like it wouldn't be realistic in that case to have an end table there. So I just left it like that, and then Techie74 had some really great suggestions as far as personalizing the room. So they suggested taking one of the kids' lunchboxes and sizing it up to look like a suitcase and then putting toys and clothing in front of it. So I thought that was just really brilliant. So I gave that a try, used that bright purple lunchbox there originally just to add some pops of color, but I did change it to the dinosaur one because I felt like it tied in with the room a little better. Then again, leaving it purple probably would have been fine because it doesn't really need to tie into the room. They also suggested adding in suitcases for the adults, but I couldn't find any, so I just added a backpack instead. And lastly, they suggested adding in one of the children's folding chairs, sort of like they brought an extra one for their daughter because there's only 2 chairs there. And I thought that was a really cute idea. And now moving on to the bathroom, because Max and Giannis, they felt like it didn't look quite rustic enough, so I was trying to see what I could do to keep it bright but have it kind of fit in with the style of the other bathroom in the house a little bit more, or not the house, I keep calling it a house but it's an inn. But to do that I was trying to go back to the stone tiles and have a little bit more paneling in the walls. So I tried this stone tile right here at first, but then I just went back to the one I had originally, the same one used in the downstairs bathroom. And I used the same paneling that I had throughout the Rustic Inn, but made it the brighter color. So that's still rustic, but then it still does kind of keep with a bright theme. And I kept the tile near the shower, which I thought looked nice. I also changed the tiles to be a bright green, which I thought looked really nice in this room. Also, Emily, Andrea, and Alec all pointed out that I could place a 2-tile rug underneath the shower partially to give the illusion of a 1-tile rug, which is just a really brilliant idea. And Mitali said that the area below the shower was a little bit dark and suggested placing a wall light to brighten it up a bit, so I did that. And then I decided just to use wall lights to light the bathroom entirely because I felt like the ceiling light was a little bit large for the space. Before moving on to today's room, I just want to talk about the household that I'm going to be basing the furnishing off of. So I'm just already here on the gallery in the hashtag. I wanted today's room to have a romantic honeymoon kind of a theme to it, with lots of reds and other romantic cheesy items. But rather than furnishing for a newlywed couple, I thought it'd be really nice to choose an elderly couple because usually whenever I furnish for specific Sims, I'm furnishing it for younger Sims, so I thought it'd be nice to do something different, do something for an elderly couple. And I did see 4 elderly couples in the hashtag, so I had a hard time choosing the 2. But before showing which one I'm going to actually use, I just wanted to show all 4 of the couples so you guys could see them. First up is the Brown family by Tatum 10 Ted, and they are an old-fashioned couple hoping to have a marvelous summer by staying at the Rustic Inn. And then a little further down is the Grinwood family by ANAD24, and they're an elderly couple wanting to celebrate their 30th anniversary on a vacation, which I thought was really sweet. And next is the Murphy family by Caramel Sunshine 1, which I thought they were a cute looking little couple. And then last is the Summerboat family by Simply Nando, and they are an elderly couple who is into Nautic interior. So I thought they were pretty cute and I like their style as well. But the household that I decided to choose was the Brown household here. I really like their style and I thought they were a cute couple, and I also like the old-fashioned notion, so I'm gonna go for more of a dated, maybe slightly dated kind of a look for this room. But anyway, getting onto these Sims trait and such, we have Antonio Brown, who wants to be an angling ace, loves the outdoors, is family-oriented and clumsy. And then Courtney Brown, who wants to be a master chef, loves the outdoors, is outgoing, and a perfectionist. So now that that's done, I'm going to just move on to furnishing. So I'm going to be using this room right here. And I think this room should be a bit quicker to do because unlike the other one, like the other one's a little bit trickier because of, I was trying to use bright colors while keeping it with sort of a rustic theme. But this one hopefully should be a little bit easier to do, and I'm just going to use wood floors because I like how they look and how they fit in with the theme of the place. As far as the bed goes, I want to see how... maybe we'll try this one, because it is rustic and it's red, so it's nice and romantic. I could use this one, but I use the same kind of bed in the other room, so I don't really want to go with that. This one could also work, and it's a little bit nicer. Let's see, I think there's a red one here, but I like this one and just how it fits in with the theme of the place in general. And plus we are building in Granite Falls, so I feel like I should use the beds that come with outdoor treats. So I'm just going to stick with that one. This one right here actually doesn't have a red coloring to it, so yeah, I'm just gonna go with this bed here, and let's use the same end tables to keep the theme. Yeah, I think furnishing this room will go much, much quicker than the other one. Actually, I think wait, what is it? Oh, this is actually the matching one. Okay, so we'll go with that. And I don't know if I want to go with the same kind of lamp that I use in the other room. I mean, it does really fit in well. I could also, just to do something different, use this one, just so we don't have the same exact, because like we've got the same end tables, and then, you know, I don't necessarily want to have the same lamps as well, so I think I'll go with these ones in here. They do look pretty nice. And I might try the accent wall in here. I think for this room it could work pretty well, and oh, it looks like the tissues disappeared, of course. So let me just get those back in really quick. I believe I had them in white. Yeah, that's what color I had them in. So we can see how this looks in here with the stone wall. As far as the walls go, I did want to try that paneling that had the pattern on it. The one that I tried in the dining room a little while ago. Because when I tried that, some of you suggested that when it came to furnishing the rooms that I should try using in one of them. So I think since this is supposed to be a little bit more of an old-fashioned room, that it might work very well to have it in here. You know, actually, I'm just gonna put it over the whole room, and oh, great. Okay, of course, I got rid of something. Now that that's fixed, I can get back to this, and on second thought, maybe I do want to go with the solid red bed that came with this. Just because now I'm thinking with these walls, it might be better to use a solid bed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Just because I don't want to have too many different patterns in this room, because this wall is a little busy, so then we don't need busy plaid as well, so yeah, I mean, that doesn't actually look half bad, though. There actually was another reddish color for this, so there is this one right here that's solid. But I'm not sure how I feel about the woods. Yeah, so the wood color is kind of gross with that one, though. Like, I like the sheet color, but not the wood color, so I'm kind of running into that whole issue again. It's just kind of green and gross. Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit too busy. This bed does actually look nice in here, but I don't really want to use the same bed twice. There might be another solid color. Maybe this doesn't necessarily have to be red. You know what? Maybe we should just go with this, and I could also, since this couple does like old-fashioned furnishing, let's see if there's a... Okay, so this bed doesn't have a reddish kind of a color to it. This one does, though, I believe. Yeah, it's got this, so we can see how this looks. This might be a little bit much for this inn, though. Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit too formal. Okay, so we're not gonna go with that. I think I'm just gonna stick with this bed. Yeah, I think that works. Alright, so we'll get rid of these and change the end tables, because I don't quite like how those look. Actually, maybe there's a wood that looks decent with this. Actually, no, I think I'm just gonna go with this one here. I think this one's it. Okay, so we're just gonna do that. Let's get this in here, move this, and now I'm gonna try putting that accent wall back in and see how it looks with this bed in place. And actually with these walls as well. I feel like it doesn't really look quite right with everything else. Another option would also be to just take the full paneling like this one here that matches. And then, of course, the lights delete themselves. So we could do this and just have solid paneling along this wall as sort of an accent, but it looks like I have to go and replace all the lamps. Okay, that's all straightened out once again. I'm just going to keep the lamps this color because I do like the different color of wood and having it be a little bit brighter. And now I have to figure out what to put on it. Oh, you know what? I could add in the little heart, this thing right here, above the bed. I think for this room that would be really nice, and it also comes in a red color, so I'm just gonna lower it a little bit so it kind of fits in right into this area right here. And then let's change it to be red. Okay, yeah, I think that looks really nice. And we definitely wouldn't have been able to put that there if we left this wallpaper in because it is sort of busy. And maybe some red tissue box over here, although I don't really like where it's snapping. I'm just gonna leave it. Where do we want it? Let's put it. I think it actually looks kind of fine right there, so we'll just leave it there. And let's try out a red color. And what do we want over here? Maybe a single rose. Actually, this might not be a good spot for that. Yeah, it's kind of coming through that a little bit. I don't think plants are gonna work. We could do this nice red picture thingy, or the books. We could try books. Yeah, I think that works. And maybe some more. Actually, we could add these in right under here, like just raise them up so it looks kind of like they're just stuck under there. I like how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Yeah, someone pointed out that I could do that to make it look like books that were left there about the inn in Granite Falls and such. So I think that works. I don't know if we want more books under there. Maybe we could just leave under there empty, because I'm not sure what else to stick there. Like, I could put books, but then that might be too many books under there. Although maybe I could do that and then just get rid of the books that are on top of there. So we could do that. We could move these forward. Let's try some other colors. I like this color right here. And then we can perhaps just have nothing there, or maybe an alarm clock. I keep forgetting to put those in. So we can, yeah, I actually like that. And I think the original wood's fine. And now I'm not so sure about this. This might be getting a little too cheesy. You guys can let me know what you think, but I'm gonna get rid of it and actually try out some paintings because I feel like, yeah, I feel like it might be getting a little bit tacky. This could also be a nice touch. It's not really. It'd be kind of nice if there was a painting of roses or something like that, because I think that would look really nice there, but there is that, but that's a little bit too big. You know what? I kind of like how this looks. Yeah, maybe with a lighter wood. I think, yeah, I like that's kind of like an old-fashioned thing. Like, it could just be perhaps like, well, that doesn't look anything like the inn, but it could have been like old plants or something. I don't know. I think it works. We also need some kind of a rug in here, so, okay, what works? We could try the same one that was used in the other room. I do like how it's nice and simple. I think it works for this place. So we could just take this one and put it in here like this. I think it also had a reddish brown kind of a color. We could also, okay, this one's a little bit big, but we could also try this one. I believe it also had, oh, that's actually, I think this one actually works. Okay, so now we just have to get that out of the way so we can delete the other one. Yeah, so we'll just delete that. I think this one works better. Plus, we did use that one over in the other room. Yeah, I think that color works pretty well. Now that I think about it, though, there were some other colors. I didn't really check out the other colors for this wall too much, but there might be some that are a little bit brighter. So we got this bluish one here. Then there is this one, but I do like the reds. And this one here. Okay, now I'm not so sure about that rug. Might be making things a little bit too dim. There is this, ooh, oh, okay, I think that's it. Yeah, I like how this one looks a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. There might also be some other, or, you know, rather than going with red, I think going with a lighter color like this might actually work better because they're, oh, that's actually pretty nice as well. Because this room is, I kind of like that one, but anyway, what I was saying was we might not want to go with one that's all dark colors because this room is getting a little bit dark looking. So brightening it up might be nice. Yeah, so we could go with that. That might be a little too bright. I'm kind of liking this one. I think this is the one I'm going to go with. I could also just try another type of paneling in general because I'm just kind of worrying now that that's a little much. We could go with this. I'm sure we're gonna have issues with things deleting again. Yep, of course I am. We could also just go with a nice plain red, and this could mean that we're able to go back to that plaid bed, but I do like this one. It's a little bit more elegant. But this could be a little too much red, but let's go back to this paneling here. Yeah, I kind of like just the plain red more because it's a bit less busy. You guys can let me know what you think, like whether you want me to stick, but I just feel like the other one makes the room look a little bit, it's just a little bit too busy and it makes the room look a little bit darker. We can now try this bed again. But I think I want to stick with this one. It kind of gives more of an elegant look to this place. And looking in here, I did not realize that that rug went into the room a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna have to scooch it forward just a little bit. So it kind of takes up this whole area in here, which is nice. I don't think I'm gonna add rugs elsewhere in the room, but I do like how there are rugs in that area right there. And I think we'll go with just some nice, simple white curtains in here so we can... Actually, we might need to go with... We might actually need to go with shorter ones because of these windows here in the front. Okay, can we... There we go. Okay, so we'll get this one up higher. Yeah, I think that looks nice. And you know what? Yeah, it might just be best to make this room the same red as well. Because it did look a little bit dark with the paneling there. And, you know, I'm just gonna wait till the end to put stuff back in the other room because I keep having to do it. And I'm probably gonna change the walls a little bit more. We could also just go with a light beige kind of a color or like a white. That would really help to brighten things up as well. But I do like the romantic look of the red wall though. But you guys can let me know what you think, whether I should go like more cheesy and go all red or just leave it the white like this. I kind of like the red though, but I'll just leave it like this for the time being and move on from there. You guys can always let me know. And I mean, the thing I like doing with the Let's Builds is that it's like at the end of the part, leaving the room not 100% done, so you guys can sort of let me know what you think, so then I can go in later and finish it. Like, I just kind of like using it to kind of like lay out my thoughts of what I want to do, so that you all can use that to tell me what you think looks best. But I'm wondering, I do want to have a coffee table here when you walk in, but I'm thinking that's a bad idea because it might close the area in a little much. We could also try this one right here. This one's a little bit... Yeah, it doesn't stick out quite as far. It's also kind of cool. It's got like a travel theme going with it. And, ooh, it comes in a darker color like this. Kind of like that. And you know what, now I'm thinking, I know I said I was just going to leave this for the time being, but... You know what, we might want to make the walls white. And just leave red as more of an accent color than, like, having it everywhere in the room, because I feel like it's getting to be a little much. This coffee table here, I'm thinking that we definitely need that wine bucket thing, which, where is that? That is right here. Okay, so we'll just stick that there, and I'll kind of do the same thing that I did in the other room just for continuity, like each room will kind of have this something on it with these same objects. Okay, let's get some towels here. Actually, I need to scooch that out just a little bit more. Okay, so we'll get it there. I'm thinking just a nice simple white. And then the toiletry item, which is right here. And I'm gonna make that well, actually I don't like that color. I'm gonna just make that this color. It might be a little bit too busy in there. Actually, I don't know if I'm feeling this rug anymore. Yeah, that rug might have been a little much. Maybe just a smaller one at the foot of the bed would be a better way to go, rather than filling in that whole area with rugs. Ooh, I kind of like this. You know what? Instead of having that here, let's just move it over here, rather than at the foot of the bed, because it's crowding in that area too much, but I do really like how this looks over here, so I think that's nice. This wall's still feeling a little dark, so I'm actually just gonna try this one once again. I know I keep flip-flopping on what to do for the wall colorings in here, but I don't, you know, maybe... Okay, let's actually just put this in, and then yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have to replace something in the other room. Okay, let's close this. And, okay, let's compare it. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with this, we can have kind of a similar theme going between each of the rooms, and this one just makes the room look so much more bright and airy. I just didn't like how dark the other coloring made it. So we'll do that, and I'll also darken the frame of this a little bit, and perhaps we could use another painting here. Unless I missed it, I don't think there's any, like, romantic type paintings, so there's none of those I can really add. But I could do... I already used the nature theme ones, but I feel like they really work well here, seeing as this is an inn. Oh, we could go with this. That's kind of nice, or maybe that would be better above here. I could actually try the hearts again. I still feel like they might be a little too cheesy. So I want the red color, which is this one. And let's try that. Okay, let's, you know, with the, I think with this wallpaper it looks a little bit better. So, you know what, we'll just keep it. It's a nice touch. And actually, I can now use, or maybe I don't need a painting on that wall. I don't know, maybe I don't need anything on that wall. I could, ooh, this is kind of neat. Actually, this may work really well here. It's got sort of an antique look to it. Okay, so we can keep this here. Actually, I should center this along here a little bit better, and all those items are just not snapping properly. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll move this here. We could use this one. Oh, that, you know what? I'm being so indecisive today. We'll put this here because I think we need something smaller along this wall because it is a small wall. So we'll stick this one here. Actually, I'm gonna go with that coloring. And then we can try that architectural looking one that I deleted over there. So we can put this here. So at least with this wall, this heart thing on the wall here, it's not like you have two paintings, so it's something a little different. So I think it's fine. So we'll do that, and I think we need to darken the frame a little more. Okay, yeah, so I think it is looking better with the lighter walls. And I'm not going to put a TV in this room. I don't really want to put TVs in any of the rooms. But since this room has an outdoor seating area right here, and this room doesn't really... I could put a table out here, but there's not really space for it, so I was thinking I could have a little table indoors. I think that'd be pretty nice looking. So we can just go in here and pick this. I think this would be nice, and there was one with a... Oh, that's kind of misleading. Well, I guess that's kind of the correct color. I know it's like some of these things they aren't the color they look like from the swatch when you actually use it. Okay, so I'll just put that there. And then as far as the chairs go, let's see if we have a red one. Okay, so we have this. It's not the exact same wood color, but it is red, which is what I really want for this room. And I'm going to move it over this way just a little bit so it's not quite so in the way of the bathroom. And then I think a single rose kept red will look really nice on it. So this way they can bring food up in here and eat in their rooms. And I'll do the same thing with this room as well, since it doesn't really have a dedicated eating table. Like for this room, like I said, it's on the outside here. So, and I've noticed that like a lot of hotel rooms have a table and chair in there. I'm not really sure what else to do with the space. I also don't think... Oh, you know what? Now that we don't have red walls, we should have red curtains. Okay, yeah, that works really well. So, I was thinking about putting a desk here, but that would completely block off a way to get to the bathroom. What I could do is put a chair, and then maybe try and see if I can fit in a bookshelf somewhere else, so it's kind of like a chair for reading. For some reason, I just really love this chair. I know I've used it throughout the inn and other places. For some reason, there's something about it that I just really like. I think it's really pretty. So I'll use this, and we can just have it here, just kind of facing straight out. I don't know if we want to center it. That might make it a little bit too closed in there. We can have it a little further along the wall, though. And then perhaps a standing lamp next to it. So let's see what we've gotten here. We could just go with this. That also will help to brighten up the area, although we might want to move it over to this side so that it's a little further away from this. There actually is this standing lamp here, which, yeah, let's go with that. That actually fits in a little better with the place. And we can see if Yeah, I'll go with this color. Okay, so I think they should, I'll have to test this out, but they should be able to get through there. We can also just move this a little further down. And I think that should be fine. And maybe just a small painting above it. Just something little. We could try this. Yeah, we could try that. That one's pretty nice. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. I could also put a small red rug in front of the door here just so there's something like just a two-tile rug. This one unfortunately doesn't come in red. There is this one that comes in red. So we could do this. I don't know if that's a little bit too bright though. Yeah, I feel like that's a brighter red than I want. You know, this rug here might just be the best bet. And, oh yeah, someone pointed out to me, I think it was the last part of this series, or maybe it was one of the room builds I did recently, that you can, if you tap the plus key, it cycles through the colors. And I did see the video that Sim Supply made on that. So that's just an interesting little trick. I just keep forgetting to use it, and plus it's kind of like a habit to go through the menu, look at the colors that way, but you can do this. I don't know how often I'm going to do it though, because I kind of like to look at the swatches and see what colors they are before going through it like this, but it is a good way to see the colors before you actually put it down. So we can try this. And, oops, I don't think I'm going to stick with that color though. So we could just go with this. Oh, I just realized that we still need a dresser and a mirror, so on second thought, instead of having that, it might just be better to have a dresser in its place and then put that stuff on top of a dresser. So we could go with the same one we used in the other room. I sort of like that one. Or we could just go with a lower one. Like, we could just go with this one. So this one might also... What colors does this come in? Okay, I like that color. I think that color works. So we can go with this and then just... Okay, looks like this isn't going to snap into the middle. Alright, so I'm just going to have to place it myself. Okay, so we can do that, and maybe it would look better. Yeah, I'll change it to that color now. And, oh, cool. Looks like it's letting me just put it wherever. So we can center that a little bit. And then we also need to center it down here just a little bit more. Alright, I think that looks good. And then in front of that, instead of having that painting, we can just use a mirror instead. So we'll just go in here. And maybe this mirror. Actually, I want one that's a little bit bigger. Let's try this one. I really like this mirror. And I think that color works. Yeah, I think that one's fine. So that does look nicer than what I had there before. Yeah, so this is the view of the room this way for the time being. I'm not sure what else I can really fit in here. I did want to have a bookshelf. I could try putting that in here, but I feel like that'd be a little bit cluttered in. I also think we need a little bit more decoration. So maybe I could try putting this one in here. Or, since we took this out, I can just put this in here. So yeah, we could do that. And try this color. I'm gonna see if I can fit in a bookshelf somewhere. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit a bookshelf in here. I do think that's about all I'm gonna do with the room for the time being, but I can try to put maybe like a backpack, sort of like it's a suitcase or something they might use for hiking. Although it does have books in it, but it could be like they brought some books to read or something like that. I wish there was suitcase items. This looks like it would be, but it's not. It's just like silverware type things, which that's a little bit big for the space. But I could be missing it, but I haven't seen a suitcase type item, so I'm just gonna stick with the backpack here. Yeah, I think we could do it in blue, just have a different color, but then the red does kind of tie in nicely. So we could just leave that. So we can have the backpack with books in it next to the chair so they can kind of pull their books out of there to read. And I'm just going to move on to the bathroom now. Definitely let me know what you think this room could use to complete it. Let's get some curtains in here since this bathroom actually does have a window. And just to keep things simple and like a little bit, you know, like get through this bathroom a little quicker, I'm just gonna use the same wall and flooring. Because I feel like that would be pretty realistic. That they would just use similar things in all the bathrooms. So we'll just do that. And I'll do the same thing I did in the other bathroom with the column to cover up where there's tile. I do kind of like how that looks. I didn't really explain it in the commentary I did over the sped up bit, but I did do that just because, well, in the other bathroom, like, you could see the tile along this edge here, and I didn't really like it, so I thought this would look kind of interesting. And I do have to check to see whether they could still use a shower or not. Hopefully they can, but if, you know, if they can't use a shower, then it's pretty easy to just take this out, but I just want to try to see how it looks. So yeah, I'm just going to use similar stuff between the two bathrooms, but have different types of accents. We could also go with more woods for this bathroom rather than keeping everything white, although I kind of like the white colors because it does brighten things up a bit. So I think we'll stick with that and just use the same fixtures. Yeah, this also allows me to get through the bathroom a lot quicker. I think I moved this up a little bit, like a couple times. Yeah, that looks like that's what I did. And then we can get the soap. I believe there was a red color for the soap pump, so I can do that in this bathroom. So let me just use 9 to move that up. Okay, I think that's, yeah, that's it. Alright, so we just gotta rotate it this way, and then, yep, there's red. Okay, so that's perfect for here. And then I'm just gonna use this hand towel here in red. I think it was red, yeah. Yeah, there we go. And this time the towel's actually over on this side, which I actually like it being arranged like this a bit more. So we can just position this over here. And you know what? Because of that, on second thought, I'm just going to swap these around really quick. I think that having it this way works a little bit, having it arranged this way does work a little bit better. Okay, so we pretty much got most of the furnishing done in here. I'm just gonna put this light up here and get rid of this one. See how much light we have. Okay, yeah, we definitely need something else in here. Maybe I should just stick the ceiling lights back in. Okay, so I'll just move them out further this way and put this one back in here and then get rid of this, because I actually did light it a little bit better. So we'll just go back to that anyway. And then lastly, I've got to do the same thing in here with the towel, with the, not the towel, the rug, although this rug does kind of look like a towel. Okay, so I think that works. It's not coming into the room at all. Yeah, I believe that this is about all that we need for this bathroom. I just wanted to keep it simple with the bathrooms. I did really quickly want to change the color of this rug. I think this color might look a little bit better. It's a little bit brighter. But that's about all I'm going to do in this part. Let me know what tweaks you think this room needs in it. I'm going to go ahead and end things here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and bye!